Welcome back to the Sports Lab, where we talked about all the biggest stories and moments in sports. I'm Usher Zadie, and today we're talking about how the Seattle Seahawks look like they're about to go into a massive rebuild. Let's jump into it. So, it all started at the beginning of this year when Pete Carroll, after 14 years with the Seattle Seahawks, leaves the team and was hired as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sure this was crushing for the Seahawks because he was with them for so long and then all of a sudden he just left. So I'm sure this sucked for the Seahawks. But it seemed like they did okay the previous season, going 10-7. So I'm sure they weren't too worried. But then during this offseason, they've made some major questionable moves, starting with dropping Tyler Lockett, a very good wide receiver in my opinion. He used to be very good. Sure, he struggled for a few seasons, but give him a chance at least. But they dropped him. Then they trade their quarterback, Geno Smith, who had an exceptional season last year, and they trade him to the Las Vegas Raiders for a third round draft pick in next year's draft. Third round. So you trade a quarterback who took you 10-7. That's a pretty good record. And then you trade him to the Raiders for not another player, but a third round pick, which doesn't make any sense to me. So now they've lost two great people to the Las Vegas Raiders. And thirdly, they trade DK Metcalf, their best player, for a second round pick? Not another good player, not a good draft pick, a second round draft pick. He's worth way more than that. He's a really good wide receiver. He has the size, the speed, he has anything a coach would want in a wide receiver. And they just lose him for a second round draft pick. The Seahawks have made a lot of questionable moves, but one was a decent move. They signed veteran quarterback Sam Darnold to a 3-year, $100 million deal. Sure, he did really good last season. Maybe he'll do good for you guys this season. But $100 million? That to me honestly seems like a huge overpay. That's way too much money for a guy who's spent a lot of time in the NFL and only had one good season. In his previous seasons, he was not good at all. He was one of the worst quarterbacks to ever play the game. But then he had a 1 year stint with the Vikings because their quarterback got hurt. They let him play, and then he does really good. But one season, maybe he was a one season wonder. Make sure y'all comment down below what you guys think about the Seattle Seahawks moves this offseason. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. I'll see y'all next time.